Hello my dear students, I hope you all are very fine at your home and doing well in your studies. This is the second video of chapter 12, that is air, water and weather. In the first video we had discussed the factor which affect the weather, and we had discussed about the sun and air only, how the different position of the sun during the day affect the weather, and the direction of air from the land to the sea and from the sea to the land also affect our weather. In this video we are going to know about the water, how the different state of the water will affect our weather. So without any delay, let's start our video. You all are knowing the 3/4 of our earth is covered with the water, or 71% of our earth is covered with the water only, and this is why it looked like blue from the space, and this is the reason also why we call our earth as a blue planet. Also we call our earth blue planet because most of the part, 3/4 of our earth is covered with the water, and this water is present in the form of rivers, lakes, ponds, ocean, and some of the water bodies is present in a solid state. They are present in a ice form, and some of the water is available underground also, which is known as underground water. So in the three states of matter, we had discussed that matter can exist in the three form, that is solid, liquid and gas, and here we are discussing about the water, and water is a liquid state of the matter. So it also exists in three form on the earth. The solid form is known as ice, liquid form itself is water, and the gaseous form is water vapor. So whenever the water is getting heat, it used to change into the gaseous state. Whatever water bodies is present on the earth, after absorbing the heat, they convert into the gaseous state. And what is the gaseous state of the water? That is water vapor only. So whenever water will absorb the heat by any ways, generally with the help of sun, they are converting into the water vapor continuously. Some of the water vapor is present in our environment, which is cause of humidity, and some of the water vapor used to rise above in the sky, as I have discussed in the previous video. Whenever the air is getting heated by the sun, they are having tendency to rise up in the sky, and after that it form the cloud, that we are going to discuss later. But in here only we are discussing about the evaporation. Evaporation is the process in which the liquid state is converting into the gaseous state, and water is also the liquid, and whenever it is getting heated, it also change in the gaseous state, that is water vapor. The gaseous state of the water is water vapor. So the process in which the liquid convert into the gaseous state is known as evaporation. Understood? Here we are going to discuss the different factor which is responsible for the high rate or the low rate of the evaporation. That means which are the causes, which are the factor which increases the rate of the evaporation, or why the rate of the evaporation is decreasing. So there are the four factors that affect the rate of evaporation. That means that decide whether the evaporation process will happen very fastly or that will happen very slowly. And what are those factors? Those factors are temperature, surface area, humidity and wind speed. So let's start one by one. First is wind. You ever have noticed that whenever your mother is putting your clothes under the fan, or when the wind is blowing, your wet cloth is drying very fastly. Why? Because due to the wind, the rate of evaporation increases. If we are putting our cloth where the wind is not blowing, and some of the cloth if we will put where the wind is blowing, then we will observe in the wind our cloth will dry very fastly. Why? Because the evaporation process happen very quickly in the wind. Due to wind, whatever water is present in the wet cloth, that all convert into the water vapor very fastly, and due to that our clothes used to dry up. The same example you are seeing in this picture. Okay, one bowl is having water where no wind is there, whereas second is having wind. So due to wind, you are seeing the evaporation process is happening very fastly. So here one factor is wind. Wind is increasing the rate of evaporation. Second, in this video, two things have been shown. First is humidity. What is humidity? In the definition I have explained, humidity is the presence of water vapor in the air. So when the water vapor will be present in the air, that means humidity will be more. So when the humidity will be more, the evaporation will be slow. Okay, that's why here the less than sign has been shown, where the water droplet is more in the environment. Here the due to the water droplet or water vapor present in the air, the humidity is more, and due to more humidity, our clothes does not dry up very quickly. Why? Because already moisture is present in the environment. So due to that, the evaporation is not happening very fastly. Because when the evaporation happen very fastly, whenever water is getting heated, so in when the humidity will be more, that will not able to evaporate the water from the wet clothes, and that's why evaporation will happen very slow. On the second hand, whenever the heat will be there, temperature will be high. Okay, less water vapor will be present in the air. Okay, that's why due to that our environment will be very hot, and due to that the rate of evaporation will also increase it. So what we can say, what we can conclude, due to the humidity, the rate of evaporation decreases, whereas due to the presence of heat or temperature, the evaporation increases. So whenever the sun will be there, more heat will be present, more temperature will be provided to the water, and the rate of evaporation will be increased. And that's why in the bowl 2 has been shown greater sign. Why? Because when the sun will be there, temperature will be high and the rate of evaporation will also be high. Now the fourth one is the surface area. You have seen the very common example. If you are drinking the soup in the bowl, it will take very much time to cool down. Now when you will spread that soup in the plate, okay, wide plate, your soup will become cool very fastly. What is the reason? Because due to the large surface area, the rate of evaporation increases. So whatever heat will be there, okay, whatever surface area will be there, that will absorb more heat, and due to absorption of the more heat, the rate of evaporation will also increase. So if we are keeping the water in the bowl which is having very narrow mouth, okay, and we are taking the water in the different bowl which is having very wide mouth, so due to wide mouth, the more heat will be absorbed by the more surface area, and the rate of evaporation will also increases. So what is the conclusion? More will be the surface area, more will be the evaporation. Next we are going to focus on the condensation. What is the condensation? In the previous chapter, states of matter, I have explained the condensation is the process in which the gaseous state is converting into liquid state. Yes, I am not talking about only the water. It is the general process in which any gaseous state is converting into the liquid form. That process will be known as condensation. And here we are talking about the water. Water is liquid state and water vapor is gaseous state. So whenever the gaseous state, that is water vapor, will be converted into water, that process will be known as condensation only. Okay, so condensation is a process, according to this chapter I am explaining, condensation is the process in which the water vapor is converting into the water droplet. That process is known as condensation, and this condensation is very important in our nature. Do you know why? Because due to this only the cycle of formation of cloud and then after precipitation in the form of water on the earth is going on, is continuous process, and due to that only we are getting continuous water on the earth. Okay, what is the process? We have discussed evaporation and condensation, and due to these two process the cloud formation is depending upon. Okay, how? Because whatever water bodies we are present on the we are having on the earth, that all are absorbing the heat by the sun, and then after they are converting into the water vapor, which is having tendency to go up in the sky. Whenever they are going up in the sky, they are cooling down, and they are cooling down. When they are cooling down, actually condensation process is happening. Whenever the water is converting into water vapor due to sun, the evaporation process is happening, and due to evaporation the water vapor used to rise up, and then it used to change into the cloud due to the condensation process, because there water vapor is converting into the water droplet, and all the water droplet is combining together and becoming very heavier. Okay, whenever they become very heavy, they precipitate into the form of water. What is the meaning of precipitation? The falling down of water in the form of rain is known as precipitation, and this is known as rain. So this whole process, evaporation, condensation and precipitation, okay, going on continuously in our nature, and due to that only we are having water cycle on the earth. Okay, so this cloud formation depends upon two factors, evaporation and condensation, but the water cycle depend upon the three processes: evaporation, condensation and precipitation. So when the question will be asked cloud formation, what process is depending the cloud formation is depending upon which processes, then evaporation and condensation. If I will ask what are the process which is responsible for the water cycle, then three factors will be there: evaporation, condensation and precipitation. So in this video I had focused on the process of evaporation and condensation, which is very important, and due to that only our weather is changing. When more will be the water vapor in our atmosphere, more humidity will be there. Okay, so that is also the different way or different type of weather. Okay, when no more water vapor will be present in our environment, then very hot climate will be very hot weather will be there. This is also the type of the weather. And when it will precipitate as a rain, it will be rainy weather. So you are seeing how the process of evaporation and condensation is also affecting the weather. I hope you all have understood this very nicely. Thank you for watching this video.